Smash! Full power!
How's it going, everyone? It's your boy Dak908, aka the Dig Dug himself, Duggers and Digettes. We are looking at the Nergigante today. That is the big bad wolf, the guy that's on the front of the game that you bought. This game, Monster Hunter World, the flagship, if you will. So, without further ado, let's get right into it. I mean, I ain't got a whole lot of time, so I want to cover a lot of things really quickly. So first and foremost, Nergigante is an elder dragon, meaning he's probably the first elder dragon you face in this game. He's not, but what elder dragons are is that you cannot capture them. Let's get that out the way. You cannot capture an elder dragon. You put a shock trap down, the elder dragon will stand on top of that shock trap and then slap you for that. Okay, just don't lay any traps down. Elder dragons are not affected by them whatsoever. You cannot trap them. However, they are affected by paralysis and sleep and things like that. So if I were you, I would totally try to do some of that when you come to fighting these guys. But while we talk about fighting him with particular things like statuses or whatever, let's talk about his elemental weaknesses first. His elemental weakness is thunder. So if you were to come here with some thunder weaponry, you should do very well against him. Needless to say, he's actually not a very hard monster to fight. I know that sounds really weird, but he's really not. Compared to the fact that I beat him in honestly 9 minutes. I beat him in 9 minutes. I was surprised. I was like, wow, 9 minutes all you had, bro? But then again, him being like that isn't too strange. I mean, he's more bark, less bite. He's very strong. Okay, he will hurt you. Okay, he will hurt you. Well, I mean, he is bark and bite, but no health, I guess you could say. But he hits very hard. He has a super ability where he flies in the sky. He kind of like holds that position in the sky for a second, and then he slams his body down. If you get hit with that, that's almost a certain one-hit kind of card scenario, unless you have high defense. Over 300 defense. That's probably the only way you'll be able to survive that attack. If you have anything less, you're probably going to catch that card. Another thing you should look to is that he can throw out his spikes, and if you are to break these spikes, you break the spikes so that way you don't throw them out, he can regrow his spikes. Now the thing with the spikes, though, the really interesting thing is that after a measure of time, they will harden and become black. They will harden. And you can't really do too much damage against them. Now, like I said, you can break them and they will grow back, but only if they're white. But if they're black, they're going to be a lot harder to actually hit. You would relatively bounce when you go to attack them. So usually what I like to do is I like to attack them from the tail area, hit them in the tail, or I would like to attack them from like the back end from him, so that way you don't have to worry about the spikes on his shoulders and his wings and things like that. However, if they aren't black, you can still hit them and still break them up. You can still break them if they are black, but you're going to be bouncing quite a bit, so I actually would recommend you guys not do that. So if you're going to fight him, do what you can to stay underneath him. Like, honestly, dead serious, underneath him is where you really want to be. This goes for practically almost every weapon type, save for a couple weapon types I'm going to show you in a second here. The instant glaive and the charge blade, I would recommend you guys kind of play a little bit on the outside. But for anyone else, like dual blades, great sword, lances, switch axes, things like that, I would recommend you guys kind of stay up underneath him, like really stay in them cheeks, so that way he doesn't really get too much, he doesn't have really a lot of chances to actually hit you with this full force of attacks, because he has a couple of really interesting attacks that for the most part can debilitate you in a sense, not necessarily like hurt you, but like he has wind pressure on certain attacks, things like that. The spikes, he will do his attack, his head slam, then the spikes will pop up. That's like a multi-hitting attack. So he has a wide array of attacks that come with the spikes and whatnot. But if you stay up underneath them, you'll be relatively okay. That's if you are of those weapon types that I told you about. But if not, I kind of recommend you guys play on the outside, especially if you're like an insect glaive user or that of like a switch axe person or something like that, because I've found a lot of success when not just me but my friends here, which is gameplay you're seeing right now. My friends, they have given me the gameplay. Shout out to my man Gobi, my homegirl Natasha. They gave us today, yes, us, me, you, and everyone here looking, gave us the gameplay so that way you guys can see how it actually looks to fight him from an insect glaive or charge blade, weapons that you might yourself actually use. Thing is, with Natasha, she actually killed him in like 3 minutes. I mean, like, see, that's what I mean. He's a really tough monster, but once you get him right, bro, he's a kitty. But enough about that. Let's take briefly, because I want you guys to see the gameplay briefly. Let's look at his gear. Now, when it comes to his gear, I cannot front. Just get it, okay? Just get it. Just get it. Get either one. Get alpha or beta. It matters not, okay? Just get it. Absolutely get the gear. Off the rip, it's going to give you attack boost 4, Agitator. Let me go to so you guys can actually see what I'm talking about. First, let's go with the Nergigante Hunger, which is a set ability. It hastens recovery. Generates your health as you continually attack a monster. Recovery varies by weapon. So as you hit the monster, your health will recover. kind of like a life stealing system. You know, you hit the monster, you get health because of it. Next, we look at attack boost 4, so it gives you the nice +5 affinity right there, right off the rip. Agitator, it's a really cool skill. Increases attack power and affinity when large monsters become enraged. This is essentially Challenger from the other games. They just changed to Agitator. I love this ability. It's really, really good. So, I mean, he's like the only one who comes with this particular skill, like Slap, that I know of right now. I think someone else does. I can't be 100% sure, but I'm not going to talk about that, who that other one is. So, spoiler. Anyway, great skill. Next one is Maximum Might. Increases affinity when stamina is full. That is free affinity, okay? Eat like a well-done steak, and that's 30 stamina all day, every day. And then we're looking at Stamina Surge. Speeds the stamina recovery by 30%. I mean, that's bare bones, but that's all you need, and you can just build around that. Like, his weapons are phenomenal weapons. I mean, they're great. When it comes to Elder Seals, which we're going to talk about in the next video because you don't really need to use one in this one, but Elder Seals, they limit the ability for Elder Dragons to do the special things that Elder Dragons actually have. Like I said, we'll talk about in the next video, because his weapons have the highest grade of Elder Seal, meaning use his weapons to fight Elder Dragons and you'll have like no problems at all. On top of the fact that his weapons are actually very, very strong, high attack, high sharpness, great Elder Seal, they're powerful. I mean, they're end game. People use his stuff end game, people use Diablo's stuff end game. I know in the video I said Diablo's weapons suck. I take that back. It's Diablos, Nergigante, and maybe like that last Elder Dragon that we're not gonna talk about just yet, but those are like the end game weapons. So make his weapons, make his armor. It's just great stuff, both alpha and beta, all day, every day. So moving away from the weapons and things, let's talk about a little bit about the monster himself. I mean, I know we briefly touched on it before, but let's talk about it a little bit more now. He is, like I said, the Elder Dragon, the flagship monster. So he, for the most part, has a weapon for every particular style or type, excuse me. So you're gonna have you something to actually use when you come from fighting him. But while we fight him, I highly suggest that you guys try to not let him go to sleep. I know that sounds weird. You usually want to let monsters go to sleep. You want them to go into the resting area, and then you bomb their faces in and whatever, and you just finish them off there. When it comes to Nergigante, I'll admit, a lot of people say that they have a lot of trouble with Nergigante, but then as I asked them more, and as I got to researching more and more and more, 9 times, well not 9, but like 7 times out of 10, they have issues with him once he goes to his resting area. Because once he goes to his resting area, he gets in his feelings. I don't know what he does. Almost every monster, once they go to their home area, their resting area, they have like extra abilities, newer attacks, you know, different attack patterns, slightly different AI. Nergigante is no exception, but if anything, he becomes even more dangerous. I highly suggest that you guys carry Crystal Burst with you. If you don't know where that's at, that's in area 8, I believe. If you started at camp 1, area 8 is just right there. I would pick up some Crystal Burst, and I would absolutely try your best to make sure he doesn't go to sleep, because once he wakes up, he gets into a fury. For whatever reason, he seems to hit harder. He does a super a lot more often. He will destroy pieces of the level around you, so that way it throws up this like the smoke effect. You can't really see him too much. So whenever I try to fight him, whenever I grind him, I try not to let him go to sleep. However, if you know for a fact he's on his last leg, you'll let him go to sleep, put your bombs down, you know, do what it takes to really knock him out. But honestly, don't let him go to sleep. If you're just trying to grind him out, if you're having a little trouble with him, just try not to let him go to sleep. Like I said, use the Crystal Burst from your slinger to make sure he doesn't do that, because usually one shot from that, even if he's limping and trying to walk away, he'll return his attention to you, and then he'll come back and try to fight you again. But honestly, I know this video probably wasn't even all that good, but for the most part, I just really want you guys to see from different perspectives, because I know for the longest, I say I was the everyman, but I kept showing you guys my perspective, the lance perspective, the 12th most used weapon out of 14. I'm at the bottom of the barrel. No one is trying to use this lance, so I decided, let me switch it up, let me get gameplay from other perspectives, so that way you guys can see what it looks like and how to approach this monster accordingly if you decide to use those weapons. But honestly, I would love to say that there's a lot to Nergigante and a lot to actually fighting him. There really isn't. I mean, I thought he was going to be a much more tougher fight. He's really not. Honestly, guys, like I said, if you stay up underneath him, you're going to be fine. Dead serious. Stay up underneath him, you're gonna be great. The only issues I would see anyone really have with him is maybe gunners, because he likes to sling his spikes. He has a means to actually come and reach out to you gunners, and you gunners don't necessarily have like the greatest of defense, but I believe that's pretty much the only issue when it comes to actually fighting Nergigante. If you're a gunner, you might have a little bit of issues there. But remember, if you can, bring some homies, because it'll be a lot easier for you to actually fight him if you got some people up underneath them and you're staying in the back. And providing covering fire. But yes, everyone, that's all I have for you guys today. Enjoy the rest of the cutscene. It's coming up after this. I will see you all later. I will talk to you about the next monster, which will be Val, as soon as I can. Yes, because we all know Kush and Teal's coming in there, but I want to get the newer guy out the way. But anyway, guys, this has been your boy. Take care, and see you later.
Hey!
Well, look who's still with us. So we have elder dragons eating other elder dragons. Wonderful. That clears some things up.
Yeah. We weren't looking at the big picture. Until we came to the new world, how could we know?
Nergigante came here looking for a feast. And he made a real mess of the local ecosystem in the process.
Theory's good.
Now that the problem child's been put to bed, the other elder dragons should revert to their usual behavior. You did good. So, you ready to go? What's wrong?
No. There's a piece of the puzzle missing. How did this area end up becoming such a hotbed of energy in the first place? Enough energy to lure in a menace like that and convince it to switch habitats doesn't just naturally happen.
What have we here?